All right, everyone, if you could take your seats, that'd be fantastic. We're gonna get started. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm super excited to welcome you all to the FIL Dev Summit, Part 1 in Singapore. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome. So this is our opening track, our welcome track. We're going to start with a quick orientation from myself about everything you can get out of the FIL Dev Summit, how to approach this gathering. This is a little bit of a different gathering of folks. We're a lot of developers, protocol researchers, folks who are looking to improve Filecoin's underlying foundation. And we're going to have a slightly different format than maybe your previous FIL Singapore or other gatherings, and so want to orient you to how to make the most out of this time. Then we're going to have some logistics information from Florencia about how to make the most of this venue and get around. Then we're going to have some awesome icebreakers and intros with Jennifer, making sure that everyone here in this venue knows each other, is able to connect and problem solve and workshop together. And then we will have a great talk from Juan on achieving Filecoin's vision, just to kind of set our foundation and trajectory so that we're able to go and talk about 10,000 ways to actually make that happen. And last but not least, we will end this track today right before lunch with intros from each of our track leads so that you know about the different tracks that are happening throughout the next 3 days. You can figure out where you want to be attending, who to talk to if you have more questions about the content or format, and where they will be and when they will be so you don't get lost. All right, that's your orientation to this track, the welcome track. I'm very excited to have you here. Awesome. So I'm going to start with a quick welcome orientation with all of you, covering 4 main things. Why are we having this FIL Dev Summit? Why gather in this way? What brings us together? Some of the goals for this summit, some of the hopes and dreams that I hope we accomplish here together today. Our event format, again, why it's a little bit different than maybe some of the previous Filecoin community events you've been to. And then we'll jump into logistics with Florencia. So first, why the FIL Dev Summit? This is actually a kind of event format that we've borrowed from other open source communities. And we're trying to bring together Filecoin across all of the different teams and community groups and areas that tend to be focused on their subdomain and get together Filecoin as a big team and as a big open source community that's working on pushing Filecoin forward. So normally we're kind of more focused in our domain, thinking about how we make Boost better or how we make FVM better. And this is an opportunity for us to get together and talk about those improvements across different domains, share knowledge, align on kind of upgrade trajectory, how we can help each other achieve those visions, and really build momentum as a wider community. This is inspired by 2 events that have been held in the IPFS ecosystem over the past 2 years, the IPFS Thing 2022 and 2023. These were great communities that brought together IPFS implementation developers, protocol improvers, had speakers from across many different IPFS implementations, and really helped accelerate and grow the number of new IPFS implementations out there, and kind of brought together that core developer community so that they could build more connections across many different teams, help onboard folks in the libp2p community, folks in the FVM community to be improving and creating things like IPVM. And generally, it was a really useful time to get together as a developer community, separate from IPFS Camp, which was a more kind of ecosystem sharing the output of our work venue. And so this is more focused on the developers doing their development work together. Why did we call it the IPFS Thing? Well, because the first one was in Iceland, and Thing, or Alþingi in Icelandic, is their local parliament. So it's really where all of the different tribes used to get together, send their chieftains, and talk about, hey, how are we actually making our communities better over the next year or two? And it was a very useful gathering that actually still exists to this day. Iceland claims to be the longest running constitutional parliamentary system, something along those lines. It's pretty cool. You can go check out their Wikipedia page. Lots of good info there. And to tell you a little bit more about that event, we're going to play this recap from the first IPFS Thing in Iceland, and maybe it'll also inspire some of you to join part 2 of the FIL Dev Summit that's happening in Iceland in 2 weeks.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. to Iceland. And welcome to the Harpa. But why bring everyone together? Now everyone is free to roam around and build whatever implementations you want with all of these protocols, and you can make your own version of IPFS. I want everybody in this room to build stronger relationships and to advance IPFS implementations.
I want to leave this conference with a sense that IPFS is going to the next level and that these folks here are the people to do it.
So I would love to walk away with a plan for how IPFS is going to be faster and better than Web 2 while doing all of the really awesome things that we want to accomplish.
I want to find collaborators. I want to work on interop. I would like more hugs.
And we should have a Cambrian explosion of implementation tools and systems and success. What exactly is an IPFS node? And what exactly is the IPFS protocol? It's up to this group to figure out what it will be. So great. This was an amazing week. Just a huge thank you to everybody for just coming together and committing to being here. And we also had a ton of fun. We enjoyed spending time with each other, meeting new people, building relationships. Thank you very much. This was a great week together. Really appreciate all of you being here. Goodbye.
Awesome. So hopefully we get to do a little bit of all of those things together. A lot of talking to each other and discussing new improvements, new challenges, new opportunities, and a lot of cross-connection between people who might not have known each other very well before. All right, I'm going to try not to play this video again. Someone help me go to the next slide. Okay, cool. We're a couple slides ahead now. Okay, perfect. Cool. So talking a little bit about why we're having this FIL Dev Summit. This is a builder event for the community. And so our focus here is getting all of the folks together and having a slightly different format than when we're presenting out about our work. Here we're doing our work together with each other. We want to spend a lot of time on protocol upgrade trajectory, things that we need to coordinate on in order to make the fundamentals, the underlying framework of Filecoin better. Lots of knowledge sharing, aligning perspectives, building shared roadmaps together with each other on how we're going to keep making things better. Hopefully we design some new FIPS and improvements to Filecoin, discuss the challenges, discuss our opportunities, actually go about making plans to make it better. Grow our community. There's a lot of folks here. Let's do lots of knowledge sharing. Let's empower everyone to write their own FIPS to make Filecoin better, or identify and workshop their ideas in order to see them actually take shape and form in the ecosystem. And then finally, build momentum. Hopefully, my hope is that we come out of this summit and the one happening in Iceland with just a ton more momentum as an ecosystem and a lot of more, energy and execution behind some of the biggest improvements that we can make to Filecoin. Okay, some of my goals and hopes for what we achieve out of this summit. Obviously, advancing our Filecoin improvements, focused on things that we're working on right now to make sure that we're workshopping and landing them successfully, focused on kind of midterm, and also looking into the long term, like where are we heading in the future, and solve some key problems together. Exploring new ideas. There's lots of ideas that are sitting in people's brains that haven't percolated out of their team or the set of folks that they already discuss and talk with all the time. Let's do a lot more knowledge sharing, get feedback from a variety of different perspectives that don't come together on some of these ideas regularly, and discuss what's possible. catalyze action. Let's actually make awesome stuff happen out of the discussions and conversations we have here. Definitely one of our challenges is going to be making sure that we export all of the great conversations and takeaways that we have in this summit so that they can both reach everyone who isn't here in person and all of the people meeting together in 2 weeks in Iceland so that they can build on all of the ideas or new opportunities that we talk about here. Build relationships. Lots of people in this room who haven't gotten a chance to work with each other so far. So definitely get to know each other, make shared plans, talk about how we're going to achieve these new upgrades together. Learn new things. Great thing about getting people from different domains, there's lots of new information. People in this room have ideas that you haven't heard of before, so be curious. Go and ask them about what they think are the biggest challenges or problems and how they're thinking that they could be solved, because maybe they have some ideas you haven't heard of before, maybe you have some perspectives that they're not familiar with. So get out of your comfort zone, ask lots of questions. Last but not least, growing our community, supporting newcomers who are engaging with Filecoin protocol development and design, maybe for the first time, hear alternate perspectives, and make sure that you spend time kind of being open and explaining the background behind some ideas, because that's how we all get stronger together. Some different outputs. I really hope that we build some large-scale roadmaps together. We might be doing more of the brainstorm side here and then actually putting together the roadmap pieces in Iceland, but this is where we set our foundation. Lots of commenting on and discussing and workshopping ideas and proposals, formalizing open problems, coming up with solutions to those open problems, and then we even have some hack time and debugging time. We're going to have both of the rooms next to us tomorrow to do all sorts of problem solving and hacking and just sitting together and working with each other. So don't feel like you have to be in a track at all times. You can be in the hack track and just make stuff and show stuff to each other to start putting it into action. All right, event format. I think we've talked about this a good bit, but this is not a venue for showcasing ivory towers that are perfect and complete and don't need any feedback. This is the perfect venue for talking about ideas and problems, and maybe we might do it this way. What do you think? It's not about just telling people what should happen. It's about working on that together as a group. So I do not want to see any track that is all talk and all listen. This is a bad example so far, but we're going to get you included very soon, I promise, so that you're going to start telling us all of the things that you want to get out of this summit, and we'll work to make it happen. So it's not about promoting the perfect solution. There's no one to promote to here. You are all part of building Filecoin and making it better. So work with each other. That's why we have this venue and this space together. I want us to be really tightly connected across our builder community. Like, talk about those key challenges, talk about what keeps you up at night, talk about how we're gonna make it better. Because if we don't talk about those things, we're not gonna solve them. And if we don't share and align on our upgrade trajectory, it's so much harder for us to actually make progress against it. It's exhausting to have every single person trying to focus on a different challenge. Let's unify and spend our energy working on some of the biggest challenges together. Last but not least, a thing to know about this event format, the FOMO is real. FOMO is fear of missing out. For anyone who's not familiar, there are many tracks happening at the same time. You want to be in many places at once, and unfortunately, we are out of time turners, and we can't enable you to literally be in all of the tracks at the same time. I'm sorry. Instead, we are recording everything. We will put as much online and accessible to everyone who wasn't able to be here in person as we possibly can. That your track leads are going to be helping us take notes, write daily summaries, and get the videos up from this event as soon as we possibly can. But please help each other by sharing your learnings and takeaways. Put it up on whatever social media you use. Put it up on GitHub. We have recaps for every track. Talk to our lovely cameramen who are wandering around and might be interviewing you. What do you think are some of the biggest opportunities? What have you learned so far? And that can help us document and get out a lot of the learnings from this venue. This is our format. As we mentioned, there are separate tracks on different topics. You're going to hear from our track leads in just a little bit. These tracks have different formats. They're having speakers, having workshops, It's really up to track leads to craft their track to meet the needs of kind of the topic they're working on. And so you can decide where you want to go, choose your own adventure. You don't need to choose just one track. You can hop between different speaker slots in different tracks. It's up to you to decide where to spend your time. You can show up to a speaker slot, decide it's not for you, go somewhere else. No judgment. Feel free to wander in and out, grab coffee, grab someone in the hallway. It's up to you how you want to spend your time. Use it wisely. And then finally, we'll have hack time together. We'll have lunches and dinners and coffee breaks and lots of time to just grab people and wander into some part of Raffles City. There's Starbucks. There's all sorts of great sushi places. Feel free to grab someone and go have a deeper dive conversation about an area that you want to work on together. Don't feel like you have to be in a track at any point in time. All right, and now headed into logistics with Florencia. Thank you, guys.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Florencia. I'm events lead at the Filecoin Foundation and making this happen over here. So thank you for being here. I know it has been long flights for a lot of you, so I appreciate all of you being here. I wanted to introduce also to Olivia. Olivia is also part of the Filecoin Foundation and helping me getting this event happening. You can find on each table the Wi-Fi password as well. You can see it here as well. It's feel welcome. Yeah, as Molly showed in there. You can find it also on the check-in area, the Google Calendar as well for this whole schedule, as well as you can find it on the website over there. A brief introduction to our team on site, me, Olivia. We have Patrick also over here. He's the AV lead. In case track leads you have some hiccup with AV, please contact Patrick. We have Robert as well, Dowling. He is the Orbit program manager. And then we also have Fiona Lee, the volunteers lead. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of our volunteers in here. They are helping us with check-in, translations on the breakout rooms. In case you need some in-person translation as well, please let me know. We can have someone that can assist you in your personal meetings for these. Big shout out to, again, Fiona, Monica, Irma, Brandon, Jenny, Gao, and Karina. So if you see them around, they are going to be wearing this t-shirt. Please say thank you to them. They're making this event happen. We also have a team that is not here, but they have helped us to make this happen. They are Meredith, Elsa, and Gary. So they are supporting us emotionally from afar. Then we also have our content support team and overseeing the track leads. Uni is doing this remotely. We have Jenny, she's here in this table, and then Molly, that you already know her. The venue, you're already here, you've seen it. There's a lot of places that you can go around. You can also have another private meetings. We have different rooms each day. So check on the Google Calendar where your track is happening. We also have some open rooms that you can also find it on the Google Calendar. They are tagged as open meeting space, hacking space, so you can go and have some private meetings over there or hack or do whatever you want, but we also have some spaces where you can just meet. So today we're having Morrison Room, which is here, and then Ord and Blundell, that it is going back to us. You can also see on the check-in area the venue map of the day. We are updating this daily. Also, if you are on the Slack channel of attendees, I'm also sending daily messages of what are the main tracks that are happening on the day and where they are located, and also noting that the food and beverage breaks are happening in this foyer over here outside. This is for the second day, for tomorrow. We will have all of these 3 rooms, plus Ord and Blundell this side, and then Minto on the other side. I will suggest you to go there through the south tower and then to the right, and you will see a sign label as the Minto room. Just FYI, the F1 is happening here, like the whole registration, merge, and everything. There's going to be a lot of people around, so find people that are wearing this t-shirt, and they can guide you where to go to which room each day. And then the 14th, we have the same rooms, except that instead of Minto, we will have Indiana on the other side. Here is a big QR code for you to scan, the Google Calendar. Please go ahead, save it to your phones. You're going to receive notifications of the talks that are happening. Inside of each track, you're going to see the description of each of the talks. Our track leads, they are going to be updating that in case there's some change in it. Some of the highlights of this week, right now, this is what's happening, the welcome and intro by Molly, myself, and Juan. Later today, we have a reception at Harry's Chief Mess. You can find it also, the address on Google Calendar. It's a 5-minute walk from here, very easy. We start at 7 p.m. There's going to be wine and beer and food, so please come and join us. Please make sure to bring your badge, as that is going to be your entry pass to come. We are going to give you a wristband to join. Then, also just FYI, we also have, we are holding the DESPA. Today is the last day, it started yesterday. DESPA is happening on the rooms on our sites right here. And then another highlight is on the last day, we're having closing remarks by Juan. And there's also going to be a Filecoin DeFi mixer. Please make sure to reserve a spot for it. Translations. In case you need translation from English to Mandarin, Mandarin to English, there's a QR code located outside on the doors and on the inside of the door. You just need to scan that. You choose the language that you want to hear, depending on which language the speaker is talking. Please make sure to bring your own headphones, as we have very limited amount of them to give out. And there's no need to download any app. So you just scan it on your phone, choose the language, and you can hear the talks. We also are having some of the volunteers translations as well, as I mentioned before. They're going to be on the breakout rooms, and in case you need some impromptu needs for translations, please reach out to me or to Olivia, and we are going to make sure that we can allocate some for you to help you. And this is it for me. I hope you enjoy here, and if you have any other questions, logistic related, come see me. Thank you.
Awesome. Hopefully you all are already on Filecoin Slack. If you're not, definitely get on Filecoin Slack. That's where we're going to be doing all of our real-time coordination. You can ask other attendees questions in the FDS Singapore attendees Slack channel, and all of our work happens there as we follow up from the in-person discussions there. So definitely join Filecoin Slack. If you're not already there, it's, I think, filecoin.io/Slack, and that can help you bootstrap in. Everything that we are doing here in this entire FIL Dev Summit abides by the Filecoin Community Code of Conduct. Please do not harass anyone. Please be respectful. Please be open to new ideas. We're going to be talking about things that people probably disagree about. That's normal. That's expected. Talk about the disagreement. Talk about the work. People are well motivated in coming from different sides. Be open to hearing other perspectives. Be receptive, and keep the focus on discussing technical disagreements. Do not attack each other. Do not name call. Do not harass anyone. You will get kicked out of this event, and I will not be happy about it. So let's try to all be friends and try to all work on this together nicely. If you do see something or need help, you can contact Florencia, Olivia, Jennifer, or myself, and we're happy to step in and help make sure things get on a better trajectory. So abide by our code of conduct. Awesome. Thank you also. As part of all of this logistics, your track leads have put in a ton of work. We're going to hear from them in just a little bit, but wanted to start off with just a big thank you for all of them for creating all of the content, putting together the speakers, herding all of the cats that's involved in making this event happen. Thank you so much. A huge thank you as well to our supporters, all of the people who have helped sponsor and make this event possible. We have folks who have helped sponsor the venue that this is taking place in, people who have sponsored tracks and our DeFi showcase. Thank you guys so much. We are doing this, as like the low budget way that we can, but really appreciate you making this all possible. And then, of course, a huge thank you to all of our event folks who are, in person helping make all of this happen, organizing, pulling things together. There's many more people that aren't listed here, our amazing AV and events and local team. Thank you all so much, because there's a lot that goes into putting these events on. So really appreciate it.